going on? Welcome everybody to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, with my other hosts, Damon and Juquarry Armstrong. If you don't know by now, they're my brothers. How y'all doing today, brothers?
What's going on, bro?
Can't
I'm
call it.
good, man. I can't
Okay,
complain about nothing.
okay.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, we're sitting up here dealing with this winter storm right now, so
man,
it is.
I just had an ice storm, brother. So y'all got a winter storm now?
We had two ice storms, and now we got a winter storm.
Look,
So,
I'm a straight Michigan man. You hear me? Love my state to death, but I don't miss none of that.
No.
man, it
You
is
know,
what it is, man. You just got to deal with it.
okay.
Hell, it's probably gonna be about 50 degrees tomorrow.
Hey, look, as long as it melt, dog. As long as it melt.
Yeah.
All right, well, look,
Then that damn road's gonna be like Tombstone and shit, all muddy and shit, like Deadwood.
Man, it is what it is, man. I ain't gonna complain because it wasn't no harsh winter.
yeah, yeah. Well, if you guys can't tell, we it's just the three of us today. We do this every once in a while. Why we do it is because it's time for us to take a breather because we have some great guests. It's like a whirlwind. We go through things, but then sometimes we need to reset. So tonight is a reset. And before we go any further, I want to do a little bit of house cleaning. Down at the bottom of the screen, you see all our numbers, Strong Perspective Podcast numbers. Do us a favor, go to our YouTube page by the same name, Strong Perspective Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment too. We want to see your comments also. And jump on it with us. Take this ride with us, man, because what we're about conversation with everyday people, because everyday people make this world go around. You think these celebrities and all this, and it's nothing against these celebrities, but you think these celebrities are the ones who generate movement in our communities. They do not. They do not at all. So, with that being said, what we do in our maybe the last 3 or 4 times we have three different segments that three of us take, and I always take the first one. And the name of my segment is Big Dog Logic. So here it is, Big Dog Logic. Sometimes what we need to do is identify how we see ourselves. Okay. Now, I say that to segue into this. I remember somebody saying to me that who was having a hard time, man, I'm blocking my blessing. I'm blocking my blessing. I'm blocking my blessing. I never understood what that meant. And then I got the definition from other folks, and I'm like, wow, that's deep, right? But then as I got older, the one thing I started to understand about this thing is this. When I see that God blesses people who don't deserve it, I'm talking about quote unquote evil people that God blessed them with opportunity. He blessed them with living. He blessed them with everything, right? That a good person would give, a God-fearing person would give. He blessed them. And it helped me to understand that, what it's really about and I had to come to this conclusion, is to me, I think we blind ourselves to our blessing because we're so focused on what's in front of us, the hardship in front of us, wondering, man, what's going on and how we, how we gonna get through this thing and what's going on, and we pray to God like, Lord, please help me through this, right? But instead of taking a deep breath and understanding if this is to come, it's going to come, and you need to look around Yes, we don't. We don't look around. So our blessings are never blocked. What we do is we blind ourselves to. We blind ourselves to our blessings. And to reinforce that, the reason why I say that, because you ever find yourself, everyone who's listening, everybody who's going to see this, you ever find yourself praying to God, please help me. But it don't come when you expect it to come. And it's not coming. And then the 11th hour, it hasn't came. And then all of a sudden you become to panic because you don't know what you're going to do. The next thing you know, something slides through and you're saved, right? Do you see it as a blessing or you like, whoo, I escaped that? That's the actual blessing in my eyes. Because you see yourself doing what? Escaping by the skin of your teeth. And you know teeth don't got no skin. I'm gonna let y'all marinate on that. And if you need me to elaborate and I got you got my number, hit me up. I'll elaborate. All right. Juquarry, how you doing today, brother man?
I'm good, man. No complaints. You know, as I said before, everything is seems to be in its correct order.
Okay, okay. Damon, what's up with you, brother?
Nothing, man. Just trying to make an adjustment, man, from ice storms to winter storms. That's about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
From hamburgers to cheeseburgers, huh, brother?
Right.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'd rather take a winter storm, but I'm a Michigan man than an ice man.
Man. You know
Ice
what?
storms,
Look,
ice storms don't give no quarters.
yeah, I'd rather take a couple of days of rain like we do in Virginia.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. Okay, well, look, the purpose of this show, like I said, it's a reset. Because what we do is we have wonderful guests that come on, but also we have to, go back and be grounded with the three of them and just chop it up a little bit. So I have a question, and what I want us to do is all three of us, present a question that they want, the three of us to address. And I'll go first. The first one I want to ask is this. On this podcast journey, we've been doing it for what, 15 months, give or take? This podcast journey. Two things. What have you gained? And what do you hope to gain? And we'll start with you, Damon.
What I gain, man, is being able to express myself, you know what I'm saying, with an audience, for what it's worth, and getting comfortable, you know what I'm saying, with it. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a lot of deep conversations, man, and being able to express that to the world, because, I consider myself a private person, but the steps it takes, man, to be able to be in your comfort zone and express yourself, I think I'm comfortable with it through experience, and plus, I have support with my two brothers on here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more vocal now, especially with my family. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be as insightful as I possibly can. In a humble way. You know what I'm saying? Because we all know the world, man, always bringing certain things to you that push you out of your element, man. So for me, the podcast, gave me an opportunity to focus and become more grounded. You know what I'm saying? If I'm making sense to you. Hey, shout out to you, brother Eric. Hey, man, you're loyal watcher, man. We appreciate you.
Eric, what's up, baby boy? Support.
I think I've gained a certain degree of honesty, man. I've for a long period in my life, man, I've been guilty of riding the fence on certain things, man, and I don't tend to do that here, man. I give I say what's on my mind here, and I don't try to doctor it for anybody. If you feel it, you feel it. If you don't, then I'm good with that as long as I have this opportunity to express it. You know what I mean? I think I've been a victim of self editing, in conversations, throughout my whole life, and I don't like, I don't really do that here. It's it might some of the things I say might seem naive at times. It might seem to cross a certain line at times, but I'm good with that. That's definitely one of the things I've gained is honesty, man. Uh, what was the second part of the question?
What do you hope to gain from it? I mean, where you think we should be going with it?
Well, the direction. I mean, I've had conversations with you and Damon about the directions of direction of the show, and do I want things to grow? Do I want things to blossom? Yeah, of course I do. I mean, but I think we're on a good course now. I'm comfortable with this course. You know, and that's not really easy for me to say because I'm all about taking myself out of my personal comfort zones. You know, I know it sounds kind of contradictory, but I'm trying to get out of certain habits when I talk to people. I'm trying to control. I'm trying to control the rate of my stuttering. I'm trying to control, my useless words. I'm saying, all the time. I don't have any use for that in my conversation. So I'm trying to exercise, my mental muscles now. And this podcast has helped me do that a lot.
Well, just to let everybody know, usually I'm the moderator on this platform, so I don't usually answer every question. But since it's the three of us, and what we want to do is let you guys know where we're coming from. Almond um, really and truly, just the path that we've taken. Um, I've always started off because it was my initial idea to bring us together just to chop it up. Because really and truly, I see that the three of us, we're ordinary people that do powerful things in life in our own different arenas. See, that's the thing about it is I take pride in who I am, but also who my brothers are. And every guest that comes on this platform, I think highly of, and my brothers think highly of, that you need to hear their perspective. It's called strong perspective for a reason because we didn't just pick that out of the blue. It really truly represents what we are trying to do. Period. Okay. I want to take this is where it's going. Period. Where it's naturally going. Of course, if my brothers want to take it in another direction, I would definitely entertain it and I'll be with it. I'm gonna support it. Right. But the direction that we're taking is what I say it all the time. This is conversation with ordinary people. People always say ordinary, they try to make it seem like ordinary is a bad term. But really and truly, everyday people and ordinary people make this world go around because without our blessings, these people on high, these celebrities, these politicians, all of these people would not be able to pull whatever they're trying to pull. I'm going to repeat that back to you. Without our blessing, the everyday people that you see, that you walk amongst in your job, and everyday people is what makes this situation where we live in move. We allow celebrities to be celebrities because what do? We cast our attention on them. We hang on their words. We tell them they're beautiful. We say this, we say that, whatever, right? But for real, the power lies within us. So we'll branch off to this next question for you guys. And it's kind of the second half of the first question. In your eyes, do you feel what we've done so far has helped the people who came on and the people who watched? We'll start with you, Damon.
Honestly, man, I really don't know. I just know that coming from my point of view, I have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And stay humble in it. And give my real self. You know what I'm saying? I give my real self, and people either going to accept it or not. And I'm okay if people don't. You know what I'm saying? That's less of a struggle I have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? The only attention I need is the people that's in my circle, because that's who I have to represent. You know what I'm saying? So as far as what I want, man, for myself in terms of this podcast, man, is for me to be honest and consistent. You know what I'm saying? Hear myself speak on the consistency, man. Understanding that my approach is not from a weak standpoint, but from a humble standpoint, man. And my humility doesn't come from anybody else or anybody else's opinion about me. It comes from myself. Me critiquing who I am as a black man. Because that's the stance I take, man. Black man who has a family, and I have to represent that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed to do that because I can't avoid it. And I stand strong on it. You know what I'm saying? I stand strong on it, and I express myself, especially on this podcast, man. I'm truthful, honest with what I say. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to impress anybody. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, I go to sleep at night saying, you know what, I was honest about where I'm at in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that said, you know what I'm saying, that's enough to keep me occupied and keep me busy. Because that incorporates my family and my friends. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like you, Juquarry, I gotta stop saying, you know what I'm saying? But it's refreshing, man, when you just know who you are and where you stand and where you're trying to go. And it's all internalized. It's all about who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not thinking about the next man, whether or not he think, you know what I'm saying, I'm that guy, I'm this or I'm that. No, man, look, I'm being honest who I am. I'm presenting to the world who I am. Either you're going to accept it or not. And if you accept it, something to build on. If you don't, I don't really spend that much time worrying about it, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't, because I'm preoccupied with my own stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge every day. I got 3 kids, and they are 3 different individual people, man. So I have to have that awareness. I have a wife, I have a grandbaby, I have brothers. I have to have an awareness of who I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of doing it, I have to give up my real self in that. I have to give up my real self in that. And I'm not lost in that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually strong in that because it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find my purpose to be here. You know what I'm saying? God put people in your life. He put people in your life for a reason. I truly believe that. So what you gonna do? You gonna put up a facade, or you gonna follow God's plan and be who you are? You can't lose that way.
Okay. Okay. Juquarry.
Yeah, I think we've given excuse me. I think we've given our guests a lot, man, because that was my goal, from the beginning. Goal number one was for us to be on screen and interact with each other and show the world, exactly who we were as people. And I think we've accomplished that. A second goal was, to help to build a space where our guests, man, could come on and express themselves. And I think we've been very successful at that. Been very successful at it. As a matter of fact, on our during our Thursday meetings, I make it a point to emphasize that, once you get on here and relax and start to flow, you will become addicted to it. And I don't know how many different people, we've I'd like to say influenced into getting into this vein. So, we have our goals and aspirations as a unit, as a 3-man unit. I'm quite sure we've discussed those and they change all the time. But I have my own, as far as what I like for my association in this venture to be. And in my opinion, I've stuck to it. So that's why I haven't quit.
That's real. That's real. Hey, you guys got anything, any questions, that you want the 3 of us to answer? 'Cause I can make the shit up now, because I got a lot in my head, but I'm giving that up.
And look here, hey, you got to take care of them racing thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? Just grab one at a time.
That's it.
You know what's crazy to me, man? I was paying attention. I go through the social media and I be looking at certain things, man. And you got my sister-in-law introduced me to this one site where these young brothers and sisters are talking about relationships and stuff like that. And I was actually impressed, man, because they were actually having conversations with each other, man. You know what I'm saying? They were sharing their personal thoughts and feelings, but they were sharing it not in a way, in a dominant way, but saying, "Hey, this is how I feel. Do you respect and understand where I'm coming from?" And she sent it to me last night, and as I walked, I found myself engaged and looking through it, and I was somewhat impressed. People have to go through their maturation process and they're learning, from their experience in life, their age-wise and all that stuff. But at least they engaged in asking the question. Man. You know what I'm saying? In terms of male and female relationships and stuff like that, they have that conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? And me being the guy that I am, looking out at the world at my age and my experience, I'm thinking, man, people ain't talking, people ain't engaging in anything. They're just trying to grandstand and prove to the world that how great they are. But they actually was having a conversation, man, men and women, and they were actually listening to each other. And it was
honestly,
just crazy.
Not to cut you off, man. I'm sorry, but honestly, man, you know what? I find myself not watching a lot of podcasts nowadays, man. Seriously, I mean, not as much as I used to, because I'm not looking to be influenced by anything, man. And not saying that you were. I'm just I'm just putting that out there as like a personal, one of my personal points. But I used to love, and I still do, enjoy, the odd podcast nowadays here, but just to try to keep things fresh in my mind, man, I don't really indulge in that, anybody else's material anymore like that. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, man. That's just, how I've come to approach it naturally, because as I've told you guys in conversations, I don't really watch these. I don't watch them. Not saying that I'm too good to watch or anything. No, no, that's not the point. The point is, from personally from an artistic point of view, I just, I don't want to put any I don't want to see anything in myself that's going to have me conscious of, my shortcomings. I don't want to do that.
Okay. Um, I'll be honest with you. Um, Me personally, um, as far as you're concerned, Juquarry, your statement, I stopped watching a great because I've said this earlier, in our podcast journey. I was always a fan of podcasts, people
Hmm.
speaking their mind, right? But as we were doing ours, I didn't become snobbish towards it. But what I understood was I was selective on how I did it because first and foremost, I was able to recognize the sensationalism of certain ones.
Mm.
People call it clickbait. That, look, and it might be those folks' opinions. So I'm not disrespecting them and their opinions, but my point is, me being the kind of person that I always seek information. That's always been me. Of course, I've had my times where I've been closed off and saying, "Well, I know every damn thing." In my early to late 20s, I know everything. You can't tell me nothing, right? Kanye, like a motherfucker. You can't tell me nothing, right? But now I look at podcasts with a sober mind because we're doing our own. The thing that we're doing because this is ours is I have a sober mind when I look at them because this is a great responsibility the three of us have taken up. This is
Hey,
what we've done.
hey,
Now,
Damon. Hey, Damon. If you remember the name of that one, man, shoot it to me in the chat, man, so I can check it
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it
so,
to both of y'all.
so just to relate a little bit on what Damon you were saying about the dating.
Yeah.
Me personally, from the youth, like that British term, the youth. If I could not have a conversation with you, I knew that there was a short shelf life as far as our relationship with each other.
You talking about with the youth, right?
From young boy even up to now. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. What's more valuable to me, and tell me how y'all feel about this. What the most valuable thing to me is not how I'm received, but what I give to you, what you make me give, not make. You inspire me to give to you because of our relationship. Y'all understand what I mean by that?
Yeah. At one point, for me, it may have started like that, man. But it, it's evolved, man. It's definitely evolved because there's a certain amount that I understand that in relationships, man, that you can't give. You got to keep something for yourself, man. You got to keep something for yourself.
I agree.
Yeah, and that comes with age and maturity. When you guys both agree with that,
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
having an understanding of, okay, you know what, I can't expose myself this way. I mean, that's just human nature. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? But the point I was making, it, or at least I was trying to make, man, I got young. I got my oldest is in her late 20s. The second daughter, she in her mid 20s, and my son just beginning his 20s, man. if I didn't have a vehicle to try to understand where they're coming from, because it was things are totally different than it was, man, when we were coming up. You know what I'm saying? Everything is exposed. Everything is out there. You know what I'm saying? People are vicious and treacherous with that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? There's no empathy or compassion for anybody, especially somebody that's trying to reach out.
Juquarry.
Huh?
Keep going, Damon. Juquarry.
Somebody's trying to reach out and be. Thank you, sis. Trying to be
Gotcha.
relevant, man. You know what I'm saying? Coming to the understanding that your life matter, even with your mistakes and all that stuff. You still have to live life. You know what I'm saying? See, the one thing that a young person don't realize that I had to understand when I got older is that what if you live past 50, man? You feel what I'm saying? What if you live past 50? All the things you was doing, like Uncle Calvin said to me one time. He said, "Hey man, I ain't the same man I was when I was 25. Hell, I ain't the same man when I was 55. You know what I'm saying?" He said, "It's a damn shame if you still that same person." You know what I'm saying? And he got my attention and he started running shit down to me, and I was like, "Damn, this is knowledge right here. This knowledge right here," because what he did was he didn't offend you, but he made it personal. You know what I'm saying? He put you in a position where you had to think about yourself, your own progression, who you trying to be as a human being. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up in that man-woman thing. But the real thing is, if you believe in God and His creation, we are put here to coincide with each other to continue to make more babies,
Procreate.
procreate. You see what I'm saying? How many people out there, man, are making babies with people they can't get along with, man? That alone should be a sin right there, dog.
You said sin, bro?
Absolutely, man, because is that fair? Is that fair to the child?
Look. I agree, but they get caught up in the lust, man. That's all it is.
I know that, but shouldn't that be pointed out?
Yeah.
Here is the possibility. If a young brother was having sex with a young girl, and he come back to his dad, a dad like me, and say, "Hey man, she said she pregnant. She want to say it's mine." The first thing I'm gonna say is, "Dude, was you doing that?" Yeah. Then 50-50 is a chance it possibly is yours, son. So as a man, you have to prepare yourself for that. Not just taking on the responsibility of getting somebody pregnant, but if that's your child, you have to put yourself in a position where you have to raise that child to be successful, because that's your successor, right? Especially if it's a male, that's your namesake.
So if you believe that people having unwarranted, unwanted children out of wedlock at an exponential rate is a sin, what do you think about permits for babies, licenses for babies? You got to have a gun license. You got to have a driver's license.
No, sir.
Why not?
I don't agree, because you're talking about an inanimate object that's created to harm somebody.
No, I'm talking about.
You said gun permits.
Yeah, because I was going to ask how you got to explain that.
Gun permits and driver's licenses.
Bro.
I'm not talking about the objects. I'm talking about the level of responsibility that you need. Wait. The level of responsibility that you need to have in order to possess these things.
That is control over a human.
You don't right.
Come on now.
You dipping off into some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to?
You feel how you feel, but my opinion, no. There's no way I would even consider that. I understand where you're coming from, bro. I get that.
So what? So if you understand, then why is it
Okay.
permissible? Why do you accept the marriage license?
First of all, the marriage license is just some what would I
Is it
how would I describe it?
before you
It-
even
it-
finish? Is it?
But that's legal
it-
stuff though, man.
that's
When it comes
just
to marriage,
this is
Is
step
it?
take.
There's a
Yeah.
separate. There's a separation between church and state, right?
is
What,
it? Well,
what,
I'm gonna ask you the same question.
hold on,
Yes,
man.
yes, there is. But
Why is there a
yes,
separation?
there is. Wait. Let me finish. There's a separation between church and state, right? So why is it that you stand at the altar of God when you get married? Why is that happening?
Because that's tradition, man. That's the tradition that this country took
When you
on.
get married, and when you take somebody for a lifelong partner,
Hmm.
and you want to be in the standing of God, I mean,
Hmm.
I'm just piecing together as I go on. Why not? What does that
Okay,
have to
okay,
do
okay.
with?
All
What
right,
does
all
that
right,
have to do
fine.
with? Hold on. What does that have to do with a marriage, a driver's license, and a gun permit? What that got to do
Because
with?
you cannot get married without a marriage license anywhere
Okay,
in the continental 50 of continental America, right?
there is
So
common
why
law.
is it?
So
Why
what,
is it? Why is it that you can have children
Carson,
without a license?
Juquarry, there is common law marriage that's recognized throughout this country.
I was about to say
Yeah,
common law, though.
So,
Pretty much.
so as
They don't do
far as
that anymore, but
you need a
yeah.
marriage license, it don't matter.
But in some aspects of common law, if the marriage were to fail, the common law marriage were to fail, there are certain legal ramifications that stick, right?
Child support, that's it.
Okay.
yeah, well, child support and plus, you know what I'm saying, if that child gets your benefits after you pass and all that. That's the legal stance on it, man.
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
you're right. You're right. But you have
For
to name that child as your legal
for
heir, though.
for a marriage license, for a driver's license, for a gun license, there's a certain period of classes and knowledge that you have before you get into those ventures.
And
Right.
Why is it that
I'm
I mean
right with you, bro.
you have a problem you have a problem with state sanctioned parenting classes? You have a problem with that?
Listen to what I'm saying to you. You
I
said
do. It depends
have
on the
a child.
motivation.
But
Oh my God. Oh my God.
hold on, Fluke. You said to have a child. Now,
Yeah.
if there's steps to get you prepared to have a child, I'm with that. But hey, you can't have this child because you don't have this license. Because that's my understanding of what you're saying. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
See that I got look, being the fact that being a part of the community that we're a part of, we have always ran into restrictions. And this, as far as a life is concerned, a child's life. Man, you know, there are some people out there who are irresponsible in having male and females and having children. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's real. But when you get into that, what I'm gonna do, you need a license to have a child. That is control, brother. That is control that nobody should be on top of, man.
Do you know that 40% of black males in this country have all the children? 40%.
Here's the thing, man.
Forty percent.
Because
Forty percent
I think my
of black
statement launched
men
this
who have children.
conversation.
No, hold on. No. We went to another direction with it. But
Okay.
boy, explain what you mean by 40. What does that mean exactly?
What it means is, there's a high. I mean, I don't know if y'all know the numbers or anything, but there's a high amount well, there's a low amount of black men in this country who are responsible for basically all the children. And when you look
No,
at the
no,
numbers,
no.
when you look at the numbers, what
That I
are
don't
y'all
agree with that,
serious?
bro. I don't agree with that, bro.
I don't agree.
I do. There's not a brother I know. I can count on one hand.
It's by the sheer numbers. That is not realistic
Bro,
at all.
hey,
Oh
bro.
my God.
Juquarry, I can count on one hand, brothers that don't take care of their children. The rest of the
I
other
can't.
95% of brothers take care of their kids, man. That's just a
I can't.
fallacy, dog.
No, no, it's not.
It is, man.
No,
It
it's
is.
not.
Look,
Dude, I seen it growing in my 57 years of life. I seen it, bro.
look. You got to look at what you see in your world.
Isn't that what counts?
You work where you work at. You see a lot of that. But if you expanded it, you'll
All right.
see that it is a minority. That's always been my look. First of all,
It's actually
no, first,
it's
no,
about even. I said 40%. It's about even.
no, man, no, sir.
That ain't even. You 10% off.
Don't drink that Kool-Aid,
I
man.
said I said it's about even.
Stop that.
Listen, man.
No, don't drink that Kool-Aid.
Go ahead, Keith. I'm gonna make my point, man.
I can't give you a specific number, but if you go off of the government statistics, when people, first of all, you got to take in account that most people ain't not gonna fill out government forms. Most people, when it comes to the census, do not do it accurately. Come on, man, stop that. Don't feed into that. I'm not
Look,
saying you're wrong. I'm saying to you, take that in consideration, please.
look,
Go ahead, Fluke.
look here. Hey, bro. I'm not finna dispel your experience and what you see. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna dispel that because that's what you. If you choose to look at the statistics, man, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? But in my personal experience, and I'm not disrespecting what you're saying. This is what you see, and I can't dispute that because that's the statistics are gonna say that, especially in the black community, man. Especially that in the black community. Black man, I don't see that. Now, what I do see is that a woman might not get along with her baby's daddy, and then when you bring the laws and all and politics into the situation, that's when the statistics come into play, man. You know what I'm saying? But it don't speak to. Well, this brother he paying child support, but he's still bringing shoes and clothes and stuff for his child and somebody else's.
Hey, Fluke. Go ahead and finish, then we're going to go into halftime, Juquarry's halftime.
Go ahead, man.
All right, it's halftime. Juquarry, it's on you, brother. Name your segment and then get into it, brother.
I said it's Uncle Spo says that's my segment, man. All right, what's the power of your word, man? Does it match your resolve? What's the power of your word, and does it match your resolve? Two simple questions, man. Those are questions that I struggle to answer each and every day, And you may ask, why do I have that struggle? Because I have it because, to me, that two-part question, man, is an ongoing thing that should evolve. It should evolve. I should always be making adjustments to that. I should always be, polishing my stance. And that's what I think we should all do, man. I mean, when we have an opinion about something, man, or when we tell somebody we're going to do it, you shouldn't put it out there unless that's what you intend to do. And this is just not in the big things, man. It's the small, intricate detail things. When I say I'm going to be here at so and so such and such time, me personally, I'm there 20 minutes early. I just stopped going to work an hour early like a couple of years ago because I don't get overtime anymore. I've always made it beneficial for me to extend myself to other people.
You was robbing them blind, wasn't you, bro?
It was sanctioned. It was sanctioned. Yeah. The expression, man, your word is your bond, man. Over the years, it's taken so many different, incarnations for me, man. And they've all, had something to do with me strengthening my stance on that, man. Seriously. I don't really like to suffer people, man, who talk to hear themselves talk. Especially like when we're involved in a venture together, man. Say what do what you say you're gonna do, because that you never had that worry with me. If I say, like I said, if I say I'm gonna be here and do this at that time, that's just what it is until things change for me. The trick for me, man, is like I said, finding the motivation in it for me. If you think that you're ever going to get into a venture and, just out of the kindness of your heart, it might start out like that, but out of the kindness of your heart, is just to put yourself out there constantly, constantly, constantly to be used up. It's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. Symbiosis, man, symbiotic relationships, man, exist for a reason. And there's no shame in that. What can I do for you? Let me know what I can do for you, but be open enough to listen and understand that I want some kind of action when I tell you what I need from you. You know, Life is give and take. It's give and take. And as much as you try to keep that equal from a personal point and a standpoint, I think you'd be doing all right. That's it.
Okay.
Well, as far as my understanding of what you mean by symbiotic relationships, man, isn't that a
Symbiotic.
term or isn't that a term or meaning, man, that keeps you isolated within yourself and what you see or feel you missing out on? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Let me finish my point. Instead of understanding that what you give is what you want to, number one, and number two, what you're giving has integrity also. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be on the same page with you. Everybody's not going to agree with you or whatever, but within yourself, who you are, you can gain or understand your own personal integrity. This is who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you allow any situation to change that about you, you know what I'm saying, you do yourself a disservice. What is that? What if their lesson is to say, you know what, that's a good dude, and I messed up because I was selfish and I was into myself. You being genuine about who you are.
Look, this no. I said nothing about selfishness, man. I said no, 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 no.
That
I said I said I,
symbiotic.
I said symbiosis.
Yeah,
Symbiosis, not parasitic.
symbiotic is more of
So I was speaking in terms of parasitic, man.
Yeah.
Because I started my conversation. I said I don't really know the true
Well,
understanding of that
it's
word.
not.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
This is my segment, sir. It's not a conversation.
Listen to what
Okay, there it is.
listen. You said you was trying to understand what he meant by symbiotic, right? Well, my understanding of symbiotic is a extra boost into your own natural ability to throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? Energize your true self.
Okay.
All right, now this is what I want to do. I want to open it up for the rest of this time for the next 20 minutes or so to both you guys. The question I'm asking you is this, and it's along the same lines of what we've been doing today. Um, Pick a couple things that you think that our community as men that we're being identified as, or do you think is a bunch of garbage?
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, elaborate a little bit more on that.
All right, in elaboration, when you put yourself in it and you go throughout your everyday life, and I've always emphasized that when I speak from my picture view. Of course, I want to be worldly, right? Right? But really and truly, when I'm really sincere, is my picture view of what my everyday life is or was, my experiences and everything, right? Do you see what do you identify? A couple things you identify as us identifying that you don't agree with. You understand what I'm saying? Because I can give you guys,
Yeah,
if you don't quite understand, I can give you a little example of everything if you want.
I
Give
understand.
me give me an
Uh,
example, bro.
Okay, our our identifiers of us as a community, as men, right? I'll do an easy one. When you hear, and we've all heard it, everybody who's within the listening audience, and the three of us, we've all heard this, that a single mother cannot raise a son that is viable in the community to help himself, right? And just to real to go dig into a little more. When you say you hop on it, he's a bad. Oh, what am I talking about? Jason Whitlock. That bullshit he said 3 weeks ago. Sorry, Jason, no disrespect, but I don't agree with you. 3 weeks ago, when he was talking about those Memphis police officers, because the majority of them happen to be black, and he said, I'm paraphrasing. So if you want to be meticulous, then be meticulous about it. But basically, what I heard was when you were on Fox, hey, the reason why they're out here is because single moms are raising these kids, and they are violent, more violent because of single moms. You guys understand where I'm coming from with this question now?
yeah.
Now, I'll comment on that just real quickly. I was angry when I saw this man say it. Because look, I look at social media, but I don't suffer stupidity. And I thought Mr. Whitlock's statements were stupid, and he just sensationalized it just to get people to tune in. Because first and foremost, single mothers who are about their children are able to raise great men. Throughout my life, I've seen it, personally seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it is a myth. Now, is it harder? Yes, I think so. But I feel it's a myth. Damon, you understand that?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
Here's my response to that, man. When you talk about specifically, when you're talking about single mothers, man, am I going to judge them more harshly, man, for making mistakes with their sons, man, than I do with than the dude who don't take care of his son, man? You know what I'm saying? I see it with a single mother making a mistake. I at least see the effort. You feel what I'm saying? I at least see the effort, be it right or wrong, messed up, whatever. I see the effort. But if the father's not in that life and he's not making the same effort, you think I'm gonna dump on this sister because she has no she don't have any choice?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? We are all men, and let's just be real. All of us, we never challenged our mother. Just
I
from
didn't.
that
I didn't
man's side of it.
repeat that, brother. I didn't hear what you said. You went out.
I said, All three of us, as men, we never challenged our mother. As a man.
Inwardly, yeah, of course.
Okay, inwardly, or you refuse to do what she told you to do.
Of course.
I'm not finna do that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You smelling yourself.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're using my example. Is there other examples as far as what you see that our community is being labeled as? Now you can run with this and finish up.
Hey,
But
bro.
there's other examples.
I ain't do a whole bunch of pushback on my man.
I did, and I paid the price for it.
and that's why I didn't.
I paid the price for it. But guess what? In paying the price, because you got to understand something. Check out what I'm saying though. Our mom never whooped us, man. She might have wrapped the knuckles and shit, but who disciplined us?
I got it.
You see what I'm saying? My point, I'm not, my mom, the ultimate woman to raise men. Ultimate woman. But when she say take the trash out, I be like, man, fuck that. I'm doing me. You know what I'm saying? And she come back and say, didn't I tell you to take the trash out? I do it when I get ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm smelling myself. That's what young cats do. That's the point I'm making.
Out loud, man. Stop that shit.
What?
You didn't say that shit out loud.
I didn't say that out loud.
You didn't say I'll do it when I'm ready. I know that I was there. I know.
No, I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, whatever.
But I move slow. I ain't say it out loud, but I move slow. Goddamn it!
I said whatever. See, no. Hey, look, here, y'all gotta understand something. Y'all gotta understand something. Every time Pop got off work at 3:00, at 6:00 in the damn morning, who was he addressing first? I was that guy who was like, I'll deal with him. I'll deal with him when I deal with it. You feel what I'm saying? I was that guy. Our experiences was different. It's because it's no disrespect to our mom. It's because I was smelling myself, and that's the point I'm making. That's what young cats do. When you look at when young cats look at the outside world, everybody's a pimp, everybody's a baller, everybody's this and that. You know what I'm saying? Especially these young cats who's bringing money in the house. They're gonna challenge. They're gonna do whatever. That's when the man comes in and say, no, you ain't finna do that here. You know what I'm saying? But that's what young cats do. And who do young cats love more than anybody on this planet? They mama. But when you think you a man, you do what you think man shit is. You see what I'm saying? And I think the point I'm trying to make, just to wrap it up, the point I'm trying to make is when you're dealing with individual people every day, people come to certain conclusions about what it is that they will do and won't do. And they challenge authority and they challenge that. You know what I'm saying? There has to be this nucleus there to say, dude, that's going to get you locked up. Dude, that's going to get your head knocked off. Dude, that's going to get you put out. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking in terms of the black community. There are a lot of things out there that's telling our young brothers, man, a man, by whatever means, whatever bringing money in the house, he should be able to put his foot down. And that's not the case. That's not how it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't involve respect. That's a dude who think he's doing something because he earn a little money here hustling or whatever. That's where the father comes in to say, dude, whatever you doing out there, what did Pop tell me? I know what he told me. He said, dude, you go to jail, you there. I ain't bailing you out. I'm like, you ain't gonna bail me out, Pop? No. You know what I'm saying? Even if I got the right intentions or whatever, you're not gonna bail me out? No, dude, because it's not about that hustle, dude. It's about the longevity of this shit. You have to be able, as a man, as a black man, you have to be able to put in the work. That means going through. That means going through lean times, struggling, figuring out the way to make it, and all that stuff. Because guess what? And this is what the world don't want you black men to understand. They paying attention to your ass and see what you do. If you able to sustain your family, no matter how menial the job is, you still able to sustain your family and your kids prosper and all that stuff. That's the thing that matters. That's the thing that you build on, man. Everything else is, you know what I'm saying, bullshit and propaganda. The outside world who don't know you or give a shit about you feeds you. If your mom on crack and you out there selling crack, you jacked up from the very beginning because you knew when your mom was high, she wasn't feeding your brothers and sisters. But you hustling and you in the streets, and you in the streets and you getting money. It kills me every time I hear a brother say, "Man, I'm in the streets." Dude, as a 57-year-old man, I would damn the streets, man. Damn the streets, because we know what's going to happen. But cats, I'm in the streets. I'm about that. I'm about this. Yeah, dude. But what do you do after 30 years later, being laid down 30 years later, you come back, and people trying to figure out what to do with you? Because you're not able to get a job because you got a felony and all that shit. But you in the streets. I don't know if I made sense. I don't know if I answered the question, man. But y'all got me all fucking emotional and shit. Excuse my language. Gonna put Margie on me, man. You know, I'm gonna be sitting there talking about, "Mom, please forgive me if I."
No. I'm gonna call out that bullshit when it's time to call it out now.
Mom, please forgive me if I offended you. You know what I'm saying? Because mom was that deal, man. She called you out on it.
She did not bullshit at all.
She called you out on it.
Juquarry.
Yeah, I got two. First is irresponsibility, man. I mean, they put that on us, man. You know, and as far as responsibility and leading the way and being in charge, man. You know, I've learned those traits from responsible black men. I mean, for the most part, even when they weren't, pillars of high moral standing or whatever. If depending on relationship, we always got something from them as far as taking care of your people, man, taking care of your responsibility, being on time and making sure that the business is taken care of. The second one, man, is I don't like the way the world likes to depict us as flashy, man. I've never been a flashy person, and not from a lack of trying, but it's a phase. It's a phase that I like to believe that I've grown out of. A lot of my peers and friends and everything have grown out of being flashy and just understand. They've come to the understanding now that the quality of the product is more important than the gaudiness of it. You know what I mean? I've never been around a lot of gaudy black people. Not in my opinion. I mean, a neon shirt or something. It's that wasn't extreme to me. It wasn't extreme to me. Like I've never been around somebody in my personal life who walked around like the rappers walk around with $20,000 worth of chains around their neck. I've never been in that crowd. So yeah, being irresponsible, man, and having a flashy nature is just two things that I can't agree with.
You person, and I'm
I
gonna
can
try.
barely hear you, bro.
You know why? Cause you old as hell. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, get, but I was gonna say, man, you.
Look, look, look. I say that, but I'm older than you, so
I
I'm,
just
I'm,
think.
I'm look, look, look. I'm fucking Methuselah. So there it is. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Since I was a little kid, because I've said this many times, and then I want y'all to speak on this also. Um, I wanted to be a part of the group, right? But due to circumstances being extraordinary, 6'9", whatever, 250 on up, that man who was a thinker, highly intelligent. I wasn't. It was hard for me to find a group. Now it was different splinters of group, being around intelligent people, being around Africans, being around black people as a whole. So I belong to. I was a subset to many different tribes and didn't like it because I wanted to be like everybody else, right? But because of my circumstances, I couldn't be. So I ended up being isolated on an island by myself. So I had to figure out what was important to me. What was important to me as a human being, because I've always felt that the only way that my only path to true happiness is how I love myself. You know what I'm saying? So when I walk through life, it is very hard for me not to be judgmental because people are not like me. They don't see life the way I see it. Because I know I have helped many people, but I've seen many people not help anybody. And that's always bothered me. No, it's always bothered me that people don't take time. And the question is that both you guys is personally, what bothers you as being who you are? So what bothers me is when I have to speak with somebody or speak onto a situation and people are, and this is my own personal opinion, people are too selfish to see that they're being selfish. I'm gonna leave that right there. And Juquarry, you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah.
All right, it's on you.
I mean, selfishness, man, is something that really gets me, man. I mean, you know, well, selfishness combined with being taken for granted. I mean, as I said earlier, man, you can't be in a situation, man, where you're constantly giving, constantly giving, constantly giving. Because human nature just dictates, man, that there's at some point there needs to be a return, and you're not always going to find that with people, especially when you're when you have a given nature, but you give too easy and you give all the time. It becomes an expectation, and nobody is built like that, man. Nobody's built like that. I mean, we strive for it, but a lot of times we miss the mark. But if we could just get outside of our own selfishness, if we could see our own selfishness, you know, that's the first step to acknowledging it and doing something about it. Now if you're selfish and you're honest with your selfishness, I can respect that. I still don't like it, but I can respect it. But more than likely you're not going to find the two things in the same bag. So yeah, that's what it is for me, man. It's selfishness.
Yeah. Damon.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. See, when I speak about being humble in my own shit, you know what I'm saying, it's just like that joke that Robin Williams made about his wife. She got mad at him because she came in at 2 o'clock in the morning and shit, and she couldn't understand why he wasn't mad. He was like, "Well, I just came in my damn self." You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
As far as selfishness is concerned, man, I don't care about nobody else's selfishness, man. I only care about mine. Because whatever I give to a person, I'm giving it myself, and I'm choosing to do that. I'm making an actual choice to do that. If by chance they don't respect it, then they make the decision not to deal with me. Are they getting over? They can think and believe that. But you didn't trick me into anything. I made a choice. And you're not going to make me feel bad about my choice being who I am in terms of the giving person that I am. You're not going to change me because you can't understand or you're not comfortable or whatever you come with. You're not going to change who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a giving person, and all of a sudden now I'm a sucker or I'm a simp or whatever status you choose to put on me. Oh man, I'm just being who I am. If you don't like who I am, then just say that and keep it moving. I'm not finna be in your life if you don't respect me or accept who the hell I am. I'm just being myself, and I'm not confused about that. You see what I'm saying? And that's where I came to be in my life. I'm not confused about who I am because when you dealing with yourself, you don't have the time or the patience to be dealing with anybody else's bullshit because everybody else's bullshit, man, is stuff that's a challenge to you. It can be positive or it can be negative. If it's a person that truly care about you, they're gonna show you a side of you that is hurtful. They're gonna show you a side of you that caused them pain and harm. You know what I'm saying? And if you true to yourself, you say, damn, I did that. So when did anybody else's selfishness come into play when that situation happens? It doesn't. You have to have the awareness of who you are and understand that you either accept me or you don't. That's not a bad thing. That's this understanding that cuts shit short. That keeps hearts from being broke. That keeps expectations from being disappointed. You know what I'm saying? This is who I am, and I'm being honest. Can you deal with that? No, I really can't. Okay, I wish you the best in life. And I'm going to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But somebody going to pay attention to that shit. Somebody going to appreciate it. Because they're going to appreciate the honesty, man. They're going to appreciate the honesty. The hell with the games, man. If I'm not who you want me to be, if I'm not that person for you, if I'm not Prince Charming, you know what I'm saying? It's okay for me to say, hey, I'm not Prince Charming. I can't meet up to that shit. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna lay my head on my pillow and say, damn, you know what? At least I was honest.
Okay. All right. Well, look, we're gonna take this on home. I'm gonna start with myself, and then you, Juquarry, then Fluke. Um, what I want to say is, listen. What we do this podcast for is speak our mind, to be with each other, and give people the opportunity as guests and as listeners to hear authentic, everyday people conversation. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I understand if my brothers want more views and more dynamic. I do too. But what I am complacent about is the fact that the first and only reason why I started this with my brothers is to be with them. Now, I believe in frosting on the damn cake. And we eat that fucking cake every day with or without, but I prefer frosting. And the frosting is views and, and people loving our content. So, do us a favor. If you're watching us now and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, go do that. Take 30 seconds to do that. The Strong Perspective Podcast. If you see this in the future, go to our channel, like, share, and subscribe to Strong Perspective Podcast and enjoy our content. Juquarry.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a journey, man. It's had its ups, it's had its downs, and I'm sure there's going to be many, many more. But those ups and downs to me are blessings, And I hope to get better at this, and I'm quite sure we all will.
Damon, go ahead and take us on home, brother.
I think, man, for me, and I don't know if you can categorize it as being selfish or whatever, but I'm not malicious in my actions or my thought process, man. I just don't have time, man, to wonder why somebody made me angry, man, or why somebody rejected me or decided not to be my friend anymore. I'm saying the only thing I had to be concerned about was whether or not I was being genuine at the time. And it's okay if it don't coincide with their needs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own personal maturation process, man. And in that process, as you go through it, and those experiences, man, that's your personal shit. You can choose to be angry about it. You can choose to whatever. I mean, that's your choice. But it's a process, and it's a journey that you go through, and your only purpose, man, is to be a better you. You know what I'm saying? Because what people have to realize in this world is that their life matter, man. Their life and their experiences, all that stuff matter. And you have to, and you pick and choose whether or not you want to change things and be better, or be bitter about it. That's your choice. But in doing that, in making those choices, you give a person a choice that whether or not they want to deal with you. And that's fair. That's fair and honest. You know what I'm saying? Damn the animosities, man. It's about, I ain't for you. Okay? We can agree to disagree, or we can agree with each other, and we can move on with our life. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing is not going to happen is me not being true with myself, with the understanding that I feel as, 57-year-old man, that I need to be better in terms of my family, in terms of my friends, and I'm giving them my best self. And I leave them with the opportunity to make a decision whether or not they want to deal with me or not, man. And I'm okay with that if they don't. I'm okay with it. I can live with that. What I can't live with, man, is I'm putting up this facade, man, and all that stuff. Because I know for a fact, man, that in this life that we live, man, you deal with individuals, man. You don't deal with this collective thing where everybody tell you how a black man should be. I know how this black man should be. And it's not political. It's not on some old corny shit. It's personal, man. And I have to live that life, dog. And I have to, quote unquote, suffer the consequences, man, in terms of the rejection. But it is what it is. And I can live with the consequences if I'm just being who I am.
Okay. All right. Well, look, the three of us came onto this episode today to let you in a little bit more on who we are, how we think. We thank everyone who showed up as you showed out.
Juquarry showed out like a motherfucker, man.
But the bottom line is we're gonna
I'm
stick.
just messing with you, bro.
This is what we're doing, and we help people. We're there for ourselves. We're there for other people. So that's who we are. But I'm Keith Armstrong, one of your hosts. You guys have a great weekend. Juquarry,
Peace.
Damon.
Hey, both of y'all taught me a lot, man. I appreciate y'all for who y'all are.
This is a Strong Perspective Podcast. Thanks for your comments, everybody. Eric, Alicia. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.